So, Hoxton's housewarming party has finally come to an end. 3 fucking months ago! So, how was it, and how did it fare compared to last year's Crime Fest? Well, for this video, I'll be going over the event day by day to help answer those questions. Kicking things off with a bang, day 1 brought us 2 new difficulties. Mayhem, a difficulty in between Overkill and Death Wish, and 1 down, a difficulty above Death Wish. Mayhem serves its purpose as a bridge between Overkill and Death Wish pretty well. I was curious why the other difficulty was called 1 down at first, and I got my answer pretty quickly. After going down once, you'll be gray and you'll need to use a doctor bag. This makes doctor bags incredibly useful and also makes the 9 lives skill pretty much a necessity in any 1 down build. I don't play Mayhem that much, but I love 1 down. Depending on the heist, the difficulty ranges from a decent challenge to practically fucking impossible. I'm looking at you, Mr. Biker Heist. With the new difficulties came new achievements for completing heists on those difficulties, as well as an achievement and a mask for beating all of them on 1 down difficulties. I also love how they made higher difficulties count towards lower difficulty masks and achievements. For example, beating a heist on 1 down will give you the achievement for beating it not only on 1 down, but also Mayhem and Death Wish. I actually hated earning my lower difficulty masks more than earning my Death Wish one, because it was just so fucking easy and boring to me. So I'm very happy for this change. In addition to new difficulties, the existing ones were tweaked. Death Wish enemies got some more health, and bulldozers can no longer be stunned on any difficulty. They can also now sprint on any difficulty, similar to the Payday 1 dozers. I should probably mention that many were disappointed about how the new difficulty had been ramped up. Many had hoped that there would be AI changes to the cops and specials, instead of just buffing their health and damage. I'm personally okay with what they did, and the dozer AI was technically changed a little bit, so if nothing else, those people can hopefully take some solace in that. I'd also want to point out that on day 1, security guards and normal cops had health slightly below, or possibly on par with, I honestly can't remember, the buffed health of thugs and light SWATs. This made stealth incredibly fucking annoying, because if they noticed you, you would have a very hard time taking them out before they fire a shot and alert everybody. The fact that guards seemed to not surrender and also seemed to be more trigger happy in general didn't help either. This was patched on day 2 to my delight. I also want to mention that pro jobs were removed altogether for some reason. Ukrainian Job, Big Oil, Bank Heist Gold, and Bank Heist Pro were all made into normal heists, with the last one being renamed to Bank Heist Random. I'm not entirely sure why they did this. I kinda actually liked pro jobs, but I'll get over it. One last miscellaneous change is that the payout for some heists have been rebalanced, notably the armored transport heist. I see this as a welcome change, since most of the heists that got buffed range from fairly difficult to ridiculously fucking hard. Armored transport crossroads. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, as of day 1, CrimeNet filters now remain the same, so you don't have to reapply them every time you leave a lobby or quit the game. Or crash. Again. On day 2, the new safe house was released, along with the option to customize your safe house. Sort of. I say sort of because it's more upgrading than customizing. I thought there would be preset options of stuff to get, and you'd have to choose which options you like best. However, I feel like I like the way they did it better. How it works currently is by completing heists, safe house side jobs, which are a new feature by the way, and trophy challenges, another new feature, more on that one later, you will earn Continental coins. You can use these coins to upgrade various rooms in the safe house, like the common space, the vault, or any of the heister's rooms. Ah yes, each heister gets his or her own area of the safe house, usually coinciding with the character's personality. Bonnie has a casino den, Dallas is coming up with jobs, Wick is practicing at a shooting range, Jimmy is passed out at a bar, you get the idea. As you upgrade the rooms, they start to look better, and some rooms can actually have things that you can interact with in them, or just some things that get displayed. For example, Dragon's Gym gets a punching bag that when hit tells you how much damage your melee attack did. Another example is Bonnie's room, where you can get a slot machine and later on down the line a roulette table, both of which actually pay out with money, which is pretty cool. My favorite, however, has to be Wick's room, which has a shooting range that tells you the damage you did, which doesn't add headshot multipliers for some reason, but meh. It also includes the crown jewel of the room in my opinion, the kill room, which is a little minigame where you rush through a obstacle course and shoot at cops in an attempt to get the lowest time possible. Safe house customization has been a long time coming, and has been highly anticipated by the majority of the community. In my opinion, what they added lives up to the hype behind it, making the safe house a really nice place to visit between heists. Or to have a heist in? Every 3 days, the cops visit the safe house to investigate. You have to fend off 3 waves of these guys while they try and steal cash from a pile of money in a random location of the safe house. The downstairs is blocked off, but the rest of the safe house will retain any trophies and upgrades the host has gotten, which is pretty cool. You'll likely be holding out either upstairs or in the garage, depending on where the money pile spawns. And if it spawns next to the staircase, you might as well restart because of how hard it is to defend, especially on 1 down. The job has a decent payout and grants 6 continental coins, though not any XP for some reason. And on the subject of XP, it now counts towards earning more continental coins. This is really nice as it actually gives post-infamy players a reason to give a shit about XP. One certain complaint I have about it though is there's no achievement for doing it on Mayhem, Deathwish, and or 1 down. But the heist is pretty fun and really fucking challenging to boot. On day 3 we got some masks based off some 1920s era gangsters. They look like they're straight out of an old gangster film or something. But I only really like the Al Capone one, and I can't see myself using any of them that often, if at all. Just not my personal thing. But what I can see myself using are the various new sets of colors they added. These include new colors such as Scary Green, and all of which are gained via card drops. Speaking of card drops, they also got rid of Infamous colors. And all previous Infamous colors have the same drop rate as normal colors now, and also cost less to apply. This only applies to colors though. Infamous materials, patterns, and masks are still existent. On day 4 we got a new throwable, the Concussion Grenade, and holy shit did I underestimate these bad boys. You have 6 of them, and any cops in the blast radius, with the exception of bulldozers and winters, will stagger and be stunned for 4 seconds per explosion. This can be extremely useful for crossing crowded areas, escapes, or just buying a little bit of time to grab a loot bag. Just throw 3 or 4 of these babies out and make a run for it. It may certainly not be the best throwable. Molotovs are theoretically better at blocking off choke points, and grenades do actual damage and stagger the cops for a shorter amount of time, but I feel that they are a viable option when used correctly. On day 5, we got a new safe with 6 new skins of rare and epic quality, and 1 legendary skin. I don't care about skins that much. I am happy that rare skins now can be modded with other types of mods, not just the ones included. However, that may have always been the case. It's quite possible I'm just a fucking dumbass, but I wanted to mention that. Day 6 brought us the new special unit, the Medic. What do I think of them? Well, fuck these guys! Let me explain. These guys only spawn on Overkill and above. They can deal a surprisingly decent amount of damage, has the same amount of health as a taser, and if any unit goes down within a certain range of them, they will instantly be revived to full health. There is a brief cooldown for how often it can happen, around 4 to 5 seconds. This can lead to some TF2 heavy medic style problems with the bulldozer. But that's not the worst part. Oh no. The worst part is that the medics can heal each other. This means that on harder difficulties, you seriously just want these guys to fuck off. but killing one of them causes the other to just revive them, which can be very frustrating and will likely force you to remain in cover. This means coordination can be key while multiple guys of these are around, and at least on one down they appear to always spawn in pairs. When you see these guys, you'll want to take them out ASAP before they can be a major problem. I do like the idea of Medic, and his voice lines are pretty funny at times. On day 7, we got a mask pack focused around Chains' military background. The only thing I have to say is that after someone explaining it, I now understand the pickle mask now. It's a reference to the Chains is in a pickle joke the community has kept going. And I feel like a fucking dumbass for not realizing earlier. On day 8, we got Mutators. These work similar to Goon Mod, where they change something about a heist. This can be a simple cosmetic thing, like having ragdolls fly in the air when killed by a shotgun, or they can be gameplay changing, like friendly fire, or turning all specials into one specific type. When these are applied, you will receive less XP and cash. Also, most trophies and achievements will not be able to be unlocked during these lobbies. I also just realized I never fucking explained what trophies are, and because I'm lazy and don't want to go delete the audio, I'ma tell you what trophies are now. Trophies are pretty much little display items that pop up in your safe house after you unlock them. The criteria for unlocking them can be something along the lines of just stealthing a few heists, or just a really hard specific challenge. Going back to Mutators now, you can see if a lobby has one running by looking at the box on CrimeNet. If it is a purple box, there is a Mutator in that lobby. You also have to go and check the Mutator lobbies box in filters, as it's unchecked by default. Goon Mod has more Mutators that I hope they port into the game, but Mutators also aren't really my thing, so meh. I do like that they're in the vanilla game, however, and I feel a lot of people who like Goon Mod will be pleased as well. On day 9, we got a new weapon, which, contrary to speculation, is not an explosive weapon, or at least not by default. This new toy is the Behemoth Shotgun. This secondary shotgun is in all ways a worse version of the Street Sweeper shotgun, with one trick up its sleeve. The 6-round revolving magazine counts as a magazine. This means with close by aced, you can have a whopping 21 rounds in a single magazine, far more than any other shotgun, let alone a secondary shotgun. This can also be a serious curse though, as you're holding over half your total ammo in a single magazine, so if a taser grabs you, you will be out of ammo very quickly. Especially when the damage is so low that it takes multiple shots to kill anything on difficulties above overkill. With that in mind, for higher difficulties you may want to go with the Locomotive, or the GSPS, which has recently been buffed, thank you Overkill, or the Judge due to their much higher damage. Last but not least, we've got Day 10 that brought us the return of the Panic Room Heist, and actually that's it. Yeah, despite the last 2 classic packs, the Dallas pack released during CrimeFest 2015 and the Wolf Pack DLC, both giving us 2 classic heists, we only got 1 this time. I would have thought this would happen since there were 9 heists in the original, but the devs have gone on record as saying No Mercy would likely not return due to licensing issues. This means we'll likely get another heist on its own, or less likely in a group of 3 at some point down the road. It also means the original crew having a pack of classic heists seems to be not happening, since this wasn't even considered the Hoxton pack, but I digress. The Panic Room Heist was perhaps my least favorite heist, mostly due to the clearing of the roof being quite difficult and really fucking annoying. However, I actually really like this remake. For one, they added ladders to the sides of the building, allowing for different ways to access to the roof. Sadly, due to a glitch, which you can find in my 1-down run of Panic Room, shameless plug, they removed, in my opinion, what was the most useful ladder, so you couldn't exploit said glitch. They also allow you to bag cocaine this time around that can be secured via a pickup truck on one of the two sides of the building, depending on your RNG. The giant toothbrush Easter egg from the first game makes a return as an actual baggable loot item. Securing it grants money as well as a safe house trophy and an achievement. The Overkill 145 room has also returned, except now it's always open on all difficulties and no longer requires a crowbar. And of course, Simon Vickland has done it again. Though I do find it weird that the stealth segment is different on Panic Room than other heists, though I believe that's Overkill's doing. I love the remix of this track. The Panic Room heist overall is fun, hard, and I feel an improvement on the original, both for the additions and the fact that thanks to how snipers work in Payday 2, you can actually see them and take them out before they all just shoot you and splatter your fucking brains on the floor, for fuck's sake! All in all, a nice heist. Overall, I enjoyed Hoxton's house party a lot. The new difficulties are nice, the mech is pretty damn cool, if not a major pain in the ass. The safe house was handled real well in my opinion, and in a pretty cool way. The concussion grenades are pretty neat and also really useful for players with no or little DLC, and the remade Panic Room is awesome. Comparing it to last year's Crime Fest, well, I am disappointed we only got one heist as opposed to Crime Fest's 3 last year. I do like a lot of the truly transformative content released in this event. While I'm currently on a bit of a TF2 kick right now, I know that I'll have an enjoyable experience when I come back to Payday 2. Unless there's a cheater, or incompetent people on the highest difficulty, or I crash, or I get kicked, or I crash because I got kicked. Yeah. Joking aside though, feel free to let me know what you thought of the event in the comments. I know it's really fucking late. The script didn't even get finished till November fucking 4th, but hopefully it came out alright. Thank you guys all for watching, and take care.